Hi, my name is Lisa G. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm 49 years old. For most of my adult life, I've been a dancer, an athlete, and an extremely active individual with a dynamic lifestyle. Starting in the late 1980s, I was the front woman for a seminal LA punk band for over a decade. I now run my own successful business, I do volunteer work, and I love spending time with my friends and family. I'm going to tell you a story that sounds like an unbelievable nightmare, but I assure you it's true. And although my story may be painful to listen to, let me ask you to stick around, because I can assure you there's a happy ending. A couple years ago, I suffered a back injury. The injury was so traumatic that I went into shock and had to be taken to the ER via ambulance. The injury left me housebound and unable to walk or sit up most of the time for about 6 months. After I finally recovered from the back injury, I discovered I had become addicted to sleeping medication that my doctor had prescribed for me. He had told me it was non-addictive and safe to take, and he was wrong. I quit the sleeping medicine cold turkey. I'm a vegan, I don't smoke, I rarely drink, I rarely take any medication, legal or illegal. So it was incredible to me that I should become addicted to any kind of medication. Quitting it cold turkey was not a good idea. I threw my brain into a tailspin of emotional, extreme, overwhelming anxiety that was with me all the time, that I could not get away from. Most days I couldn't function. All I could do was sit in bed and cry. Food became repugnant to me. I lost 20 pounds, even though I was at a healthy weight to start with and didn't need to lose any weight. Friends who hadn't seen me in a long time began not to recognize me. Between the back injury and the addiction, I basically lost 2 years of my life. I spent those 2 years in constant physical and/or mental pain. My physician was uncaring, and I had to battle and nag both him and our HMO for every bit of treatment. I was misdiagnosed over 15 times by MDs, specialists, and psychiatrists who prescribed all kinds of meds, each one making me sicker than the last. Every doctor and psychiatrist that I saw for the anxiety told me that they didn't know what was causing it, and they used me as kind of a human petri dish, just throwing one med after another at me that didn't work and just made me sicker. Finally, their solution was to just keep me as doped up as possible so I wouldn't feel anything. This caused me to vacillate between being a glassy-eyed zombie who slept 12 to 14 hours a day and a miserable, pathetic, crying, completely non-functional wretch. One psychiatrist told my husband and I that I was one of the most difficult cases he had ever seen in his 22 years of practice. By the time I came to see Dawn at Hypnovation, I was completely disillusioned with the medical community. And it was also a basket case. I was so anxious and nauseous all the time. My hair was falling out. I was very malnourished, and most days I could barely function. This had been going on for 2 years. The ineffectiveness and callousness that I experienced at the hands of the medical community had caused me to lose almost all hope that I would ever feel normal, healthy, or happy again. And I did in fact consider suicide more than once. I wrote this myself, by the way. So far I've been through 5 hypnotherapy sessions with Dawn, and from the very first session I began to feel better and calmer. I found with each session I feel stronger, healthier, and happier. The nausea has stopped, I'm eating again, I'm getting out and enjoying life again. I'm regaining my self-confidence, and I'm tapering off the last of the anxiety meds. In a few weeks I will be completely med-free. It's no exaggeration to say that basically Dawn at Hypnovation has given me my life back. Our minds are very powerful healing machines. And Dawn has taught me how to use my mind to heal my brain and my body and to give myself a much higher, better, more joyous quality of life than I've ever had before. Thank you, Dawn. Hi, my name is Lisa G. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm 49 years old.